We want to talk about a project that we worked on for the last 9 months, as the background has been provided to you by Tani. The product that we want to launch as a company is, or the name of the project is Tappozz, and it's evident it's around footwear. And you might have seen in the brochure. So first we will start with the team, okay, and how we have come together to work with this project. So a little story about what we have done, and then move forward with what we want to do next. I mean, where we are at the prototyping phase, and how do we plan to get it to market, right? So first about the team. So we are knit by one common thread, and that thread is one of the things that we really like is design. We like beautification. We like to see certain things get some criticism. My peers were saying that your attire and stuff looks like it's gay and stuff like that, but it doesn't really matter. We are really into design, and that's the story, right? And that's what we came together as we became a team, and we wanted to basically use design thinking to solve some common challenges, right? So the team is Prashant. He is a product manager at Battle Labs, and he is into UI UX. I mean, that's his passion. Veeresh here, he is in Adobe. He's a web technology expert. And Geeta is an instrumentation engineer. She is not working right now. She wants to do something on her own. And I am a freelancer. My name is Dev. I do anything for money. I currently teach big data and Hadoop, how to implement that for a bunch of online training providers. So that's a team. And move further. So this is what happened. The entire picture of what we kind of did. When we started this program as a part of Product Labs, Prashant had lobbed this idea, saying that how about we have convertible footwear for women? Because women, they buy a lot of shoes and so on, and we kind of had a discussion when we formed our teams and so on, that is this a problem? Now, in our male naiveties, we think of our pockets. Our problem statement was that we spend a lot of money, and that's a view of my sister's wardrobe, right? Anywhere between 2,000 to 8,000 a pair, and they're about 34, and that's about 80% of her wardrobe. So we thought that maybe we can provide something that would save money. But over a period of time, as we spoke with a lot of people, what we came to realize is that that's not the right place to attack or the right way to put it across. Because women, they want to own a lot of shoes. They want to keep up with the trend. They want to have the latest fashion wear and stuff like that. So that's what happened. And a couple of stories that we have. So Nandini on top, she's one of our visiting faculty. She's a TED speaker. She has spoken at a bunch of different places. And she travels a lot, okay? And she is a person who is very well dressed. She's fashionable and so on. Now, the challenge with her is that when she is at a function or at a speech or an event or something like that, immediately after that, go to the hotel room, move somewhere else. There are scenarios which we have seen where your attire does not match up with your footwear. Some places, like, it's difficult to search if you're carrying 10 pairs. How do you work with this? The next one is my sister. She is a very sociable person studying masters in film studies in SRFT in Calcutta, and she is the party charmer, right? So she dances, and then she has to change her attire like maybe 4 or 5 times across a 2-day wedding of her friends and so on, and that happens quite often, right? So with all of this stuff, it's very difficult to find. So obviously, we went to all our people and we said that we are thinking of something like this. What do you think about it? So they expressed certain problems. Now, we were not sure if this is the problem of the entire market, right? So we went out and made our surveys, and we went and asked, how many pairs of footwear do you carry while you travel? And the answers were actually on the lines of what we were thinking. Everywhere, everyone is carrying 3 to 4, 3 to 5 pairs, 5 to 7 pairs, and so on. So they are carrying a lot of footwear to match up to the occasion if it's a 5-day trip. That takes up a lot of space. Next is, while we were at the survey, we kind of figured out, got a good bright spot of people and women in Bangalore. They say that they only 50% rely on known brands. So the better way to look at that is 50% can experiment with a new product. And when we kind of described them with our wireframes and our images, they were willing to try the product. Significant amount of people, they said they are willing to try our product, right? So later on, later on we actually found out certain pricing indicators. And you want to figure out how much do someone spend, obvious questions to ask in a survey, right? So we found out that people on an average spending 1,000 to 2,000 is the ballpark figure of how much they're spending, and they're buying about 3 to 5 a year. So that gives me some indicators about the price. Now with all of this, we went back to the board and defined our product. So our product is basically very simple. It's convertible footwear for women. with a unique locking mechanism which will allow you to change the straps, change the look of the footwear. So it's like a chameleon per se. If you change, to a black dress from a green dress, you can change the straps and that will kind of match with that. That's precisely what the concept is all about. And from there, what we did is we made some drawings. These are drawings made by me. We went to the drawing board, and as you can see, we want to be creative. We drew some pictures, and what we found is, okay, the locking is the most critical element of this, right? And we have to prototype. So we did a bunch of different things around hooks, magnets, buttons, whatever we can do. And Prashant actually traveled over to Bombay, where Nagpada, where the prototyping efforts happen. So he'll take you through his journey of what he did during the prototyping phase.
Thank you. So first I talk about why we thought of this going to Mumbai. So we spoke to a lot of people. We spoke to a lot of NFT students here. Even before that, we spoke to a few designers in Hyderabad, saying that we are looking for some designer who can help us on that project. So what happened? We got a clue from there saying that market is in Mumbai where a lot of things happening. So then we decided to go to Mumbai. This is in Mumbai. I'm just telling you the journey which I had it. So first I went to Nagpada, understand the market where a lot of things. So I met a couple of people there. Next. So if you see this, this is where I went to Nagpada. I spoke to a lot of people. I spoke to a lot of people to understand, what exactly the technique happens over there. So more of experiential learning took place over there. We came to know a lot of good insights about, what are the sole, insoles, everything within the W sole product, Tappozz. Next is what I went to another place where all raw material tools and everything available. So it was more of nothing was planned. I just went there for one day. He gave a couple of inputs. This is probably Nagpada is only for making, and the quality of the products are good. It's better you go other place like Thakkar, it's called Thakkar Bapa, where I spoke to these guys for almost an hour to understand, and they were the expert in there for 15 years. So when I initially gave them idea, this is what we are trying to do. The first reaction was, this is not doable. We are in this line since so many years, and you're talking about straps which are changeable on top of it, which will not stay. If the women start working on that, will not stay. They were that kind of impression. Then what I did is we showed them the samples that we used it, and they said, yeah, now I think it's doable. So one thing insights that we got it because they haven't done it earlier, so they always have that dilemma saying that this is not possible initially first. When we explain that this is what we are trying to do, certain things like either screw over there based on the sketches that we made, then they realize what can be the possibility. Then they again helped me understanding and told me to go to Dharavi, where a lot of tools you get it. So I went there same day, and I spoke to this guy, explained everything, and he only suggested a lot of things. He gave me all tools. So I just explained these tools which we got it. We got a bunch of this pair along with the magnets. So these we already got it like around 12 pairs of it. What we did is after getting all these tools, we started doing experiment. What else we can do is where to put all that. We are not having that much of knowledge of precisely what to do at what time. So what we did is we just enabled screws over there and then cut it. So the next slide, if you see, we did everything on our own. Like we got all the materials, then we started making stuff like that using the whatever sole material that we had it. We started experimenting whether the ankle support is required or not required. Then after doing that, we prepared this prototype. And now initially another thought that came in mind, we are not still the expert in that field. So let's go further and explore and check with the expert. So already we were talking to NIFT designer, so we met her personally. All of us went there. We explained the idea and everything. This is what we are looking, and she got excited about it, and she said, yes, I'm willing to help on that. Now the next thing happened is she gave us all the design on what could be the possible technical aspect of it. So she suggested, this is what we can use it from the purse. You already have a hook. So next, if you see that you can have it outside, you can have a buckle on top, which when it gets fitted, it looks like this. So it's easy. So whatever aspect that we have it, that we want to have this convertible, but it's easy to use, easy to carry as well. So idea is to this straps, if you just zoom on, so the pattern is like that. Now we are at the stage where we're going to do further evaluation of this product with the actual user. So now we're at the stage where we're going to spend some amount of money to make actual product of it. So we got a 2D sketch. So I'll just go to the next phase of it. So we are sort of visionaries. So we want to really get into that, go ahead with that project. So we have done a lot of work over there. We have planned what we're going to do every other stage.
Yeah, so the plan precisely is that what we are going to do is we are going to get our website is there, the link is there. We are putting a landing page and launching a contest which will basically invite people. We are giving away some freebies of this particular product. Interested people, please sign up. So we get our initial set of leads. We want to do a crowdfunding campaign on this first to figure out whether people want to buy it or not. So with the first pieces which we will give for free, we will bring them in, we do focus groups with them, record the entire thing so that the story collage of the Kickstarter or crowdfunding, whatever video comes through. And we do all of those things, and then we launch. If that crowdfunding project is a success, then we are taking it at a higher scale. That's what our plan is. So we will invite any questions if